Hello everyone, today I'm coming with another Serge Lutens video, and there will be one more Serge Lutens video that I'm filming today. I really like this format where I'm gathering the latest fragrances I've purchased or I have to talk about, and then I kind of do all these videos in one sitting. It saves me a lot of time. The fragrance I want to talk to you about today is L'Eau d'Armoise by Serge Lutens. And I know in the video on Ambre Sultan I said this was going to be my last Serge Lutens I will speak about for a while, but there you go. I have bought two more Serge Lutens, and I don't think, I do think I will stop for a while, but that is unimportant. This is not the subject of this video. Now let's talk about L'Eau d'Armoise. Now this is a fragrance that just looking at the bottle, this is a very, very beautiful bottle. I love Serge Lutens bottles so much. They're so minimalistic. And I think this type of bottle very clearly describes, what you are about to smell. This was a collection. I don't know what the name of the collection for this bottle. I couldn't find any information on the Serge Lutens website, but that's, I guess, less important right now. Look at this type of bottle that's kind of gives you the impression that it's been chiseled out of a block of ice maybe, or stone. Just look at this. It's the perfect type of bottle for a very fresh type of scent. Fresh and airy and maybe watery type of scent. And L'Eau d'Armoise is just that. I will use the blotter that I used several days ago to keep trying out this fragrance. This is a very, very light fragrance. I was very, very surprised to find out while I was looking closer to the details of the bottle and the packaging that this L'Eau d'Armoise is actually an eau de parfum. Now, if you know or if you've heard anything about L'Eau d'Armoise, probably the first thing you've heard is that it doesn't last for very long. And this is true. Also, another thing that's true is that the fragrance is very, fleeting. It's very light. It's a very, very light composition that's very transparent. It's neither here nor there. It's got this, because I did give this fragrance a few wears. You can tell by the dent in the bottle. And I was surprised to find out that during the day, it's there. The fragrance never leaves you, but it's very, very faint. It's not something you can. Others, I don't think about others. I don't know if other people can detect this fragrance on you. Maybe they can, but for me, it's something that when I wear it, it's like not wearing anything at all, if that makes sense. This is why I was laughing earlier that this is an eau de parfum. It's a very strange choice to call this eau de parfum. Maybe it is. Maybe the concentration doesn't lie. I don't know anything about this. But I don't think the longevity of a fragrance is all that important. What I feel is more important about L'Eau d'Armoise is the way it smells. And I do love this fragrance quite a lot. It is the most sheer, soapy, fresh, clean, with a bit of an asterisk there, clean scent that I smelled in quite some time. And it's one of those fragrances that very typically Serge Lutens. this was done by Serge Lutens himself. Do they mention this on the website? They just say that the bottle, this type of bottle, was designed by Serge Lutens himself, but I think all the bottles were designed by Serge Lutens. So let me just read this. Renowned for its medicinal properties, mugwort, because this is what armoise means, it's mugwort, or as you may know it in fragrances, artemisia. Mugwort, together with its medieval imagination, takes us deep into the heart of its powerful aromatic scent. Indeed, mugwort or artemisia does in real life have this powerful, bitter, very green scent profile that's quite unique, but we'll get to that in a moment. And this is the part I wanted to reach because it's very beautiful. How could I have known when I distractedly picked a leaf from a bush and rubbed it between my index finger and thumb that mugwort would later speak to me from a perfume bottle by Serge Lutens? It's very beautiful to me reading that because it's something that's very familiar to me. Because indeed, growing up, you know, mugwort, artemisia, wormwood, and all other plants from this family of artemisia plants, they're all very prevalent. They do grow mostly everywhere. You know, mostly anywhere you can find some type of artemisia plant, and they're all kind of similar in scent. You've got this sweetish, very, you know, it's bittersweet. It's mostly bitter, but it has this sweetish scent profile as well. That's deeply green. It's an emerald green type of scent that goes into deep gray green. Growing up, I think I told this story when I was reviewing Memoir Man by Armoise. That one's also a very rich wormwood type of smell. Again, artemisia, very bitter. I used to bathe in a river not very far from my house, and that river had cement and rocky banks, and after bathing in the river, you know, you'd soak in the sun while you dried yourself off on that, you know, cement or stone bank. And I remember casually drying myself off, looking through my hand or through my closed eyes, through my eyelids, as you say, at the sun, at the summer sun, while casually just reaching out and plucking a bit of artemisia that just grew everywhere there, and rubbing a bit of leaf between my fingers, and then smelling it. It's beautiful the way a fragrance can make you think of some moments in your life. And reading that thing by Serge Lutens, it was very familiar to me. Now, the scent itself, when it comes to artemisia, it isn't all that familiar, and this is something that I like. Now, when it comes to artemisia scents, if you like that type of scent, I will still recommend Memoir Man by Armoise, because I think it's the most lifelike, realistic rendition of artemisia in a fragrance, well, as far as I've smelled. It's much more composed, it's much more rendered in a perfume sort of eau de cologne style. And again, this is why I was very surprised to learn this was eau de parfum, actually. The artemisia, or the mugwort, has been stripped of the greener aspects, and what remains are the bitter, gray-green aspects, which is dry, sweetish, very, very faintly sweet. And this is very, very interesting in an otherwise quite austere scent. And it's just like the ghost of an artemisia, the ghost of a mugwort, which you can still sense. This to me smells like somebody who's been hiking, because indeed it does smell, it does smell of a human body, this one. It does have that distinctive smell of a clean, but someone who's been doing some physical effort, like hiking on a summer day, maybe through a forest. Maybe he's been touching some leaves, but it's someone who's just starting to feel the heat of the day and the effort of the day, and just unbuttoning, the first buttons of the shirt. This is the way this fragrance smells to me. It's very beautiful. It's clean. It's got this almost rectangular way of doing fragrances. This is why I earlier said it's a typical Serge Lutens, because everything is so in check. Everything is kept in perfect balance. Nothing is in the wrong direction, very clean, very austere almost. It's got this rectangular type of beauty, this calculated beauty to it. And in the dry down, in the drier stages, it reminds me, I think there's a bit of, dare I say, vanilla in there. There's a very vanillic scent that's very faint, and it's like a green tea scented with a bit of milk that kind of reminds me of Acqua Allegoria Teazzurra. Now, if you know that scent, that's a very delicate scent as well. It's a delicate tea scent, and it's very soothing, and it's something I do miss and like to wear. I haven't worn it for more than half a year, and it is something that L'Eau d'Armoise kind of reminds me of. And it's something very beautiful and very much something I would love to wear in the heat to see how it goes. Now, I don't know about this scent. Is it still available anymore? I couldn't find it on the EU Serge Lutens site. It's only on the .com, and it's out of stock, so it might be discontinued as well, which is a shame. Really, I don't think it was doing all that well. If it is discontinued, I don't think it would have done all that well in sales, probably because, as I said, it's not a very long-lasting scent. But it's still something, if you can find it, do give it a smell, because you might like it. It's something, as I said, very, very delicate, and it's quite beautiful. So yes, if you've got any other questions about L'Eau d'Armoise by Serge Lutens, do let me know in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.